On. We're on.
And
We're on. We're live.
live. Well, I just want you to know this is my first time ever going live.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
what? This is not my thing.
Live?
No, this is not my thing.
Being on stage.
Being on stage is what. Listen, it's Friday night. I'm in my living room. What? I'm like fish out of water right now.
Right. Is it because of what's going on that's causing you to be home? You wouldn't be home if it wasn't for COVID.
Not at all.
You'd be on the road.
I'll be somewhere ordering room service. Okay.
Living like exactly.
10, I'll be just getting off stage probably. Or introducing somebody or something. Yeah.
That's true. Do you miss it?
I do, but you know, in so many ways, I really needed the rest. But I miss it. But I needed the rest. I really did.
Those God's way probably they're slowing you down a little bit so you can take care of yourself.
It is like infant skin now. I think I'm too rested.
Infant skin. I gotta write that down.
I got infant skin. Can't even put sun no more.
You're crazy. So let me get into it. You're to me, and I've said this on record. Mm-hmm. You're the smartest, funniest, consistent comedian that I've ever worked with. And really that I've ever known. I've never worked with Richard Pryor, so I can't really say what he was like.
Right.
But as a female, I think I've worked with the female Richard Pryor. And I'm not saying this because you're on the show. I say this to anybody who'll listen. You have so many, like your routine, like every time you come out with an hour, none of the jokes are jokes I ever heard before. We've done.
And I work very hard to do that. I've worked very hard to do that.
I've seen comedians with notebooks and scraps of paper and all that stuff when they were working out. How do you work out? How do you work your material out?
The same way. I mean, I'm constantly writing. And then I be working so much. Every time I hit the stage, I try at least one new joke. So if you're doing 30 cities, by the time you finish, you got 30 new jokes. So you keep trying. Then once I get a set, I start with the theme, and then I get a set, and then I just master it and perfect it and keep going over it over and over and over and over. And then I shoot it, and then I get rid of it.
Unbelievable. And how many specials so far?
I'm sorry?
How many specials have you shot so far? Five specials. Not including the stuff we've done. You've done 5 solo specials. That's amazing.
I've done 5 solo specials, and I'm so proud of them. And every last one, I always say, oh, this is the last one. This is it. And because I never think that I'm going to have another one, but I'm ready for another one.
You're ready for another one. So you go through that. It's almost like giving birth to a kid. I'll never have kids again, but then you love them, so you do it again.
Because it's scary. First of all, it's always scary, you know, because you always don't know if the child gonna be ugly or not, too. So and then you know, we're in a culture now where there's a lot of funny out there. There's a lot of funny. There's funny every single day. So as a comedian, I have to find my very, very unique perspective on how to do things. And you just pray to God that people can get it.
Right. That's amazing. We did a project together after Kings of Comedy. I'm gonna play a Kings of Comedy clip, and then I want to go to the story you and I had, the conversation you and I had after Kings. Okay. So let me play Milk and Cookies from Bernie Mac real quick, and then we can have that talk.
Okay.
I ain't no psychologist. Then this man gonna sit there, she gonna go upstairs. The 2-year-old heard the 2-year-old say, "Where the cookies and shit?" He gonna tell her, him downstairs. Who the fuck is him? Like I ain't got no name or something. Him downstairs. The 2-year-old said, well, I go get this shit myself. She gonna walk her little bow-legged ass down there. I'm standing in the corner. I watch her get a little step ladder. She gonna go on, open the refrigerator. I said, what the fuck you doing? She looked at me, I'm gonna get some milk and cook. I said, didn't I tell your punk ass boy he couldn't have no goddamn cookie? When I tell the faggot he couldn't have none. I'm telling you, he can't have no goddamn milk cookie.
Okay. So Okay, that was funny as usual.
Right.
But could a female comedian get away with that type of comedy?
Of
Would they look at you different because you like? Will they accept that kind of comedy from a man like Bernie? But then you try to do that raw, like
I deal with it all the time, and it's always the messenger. They have a problem with the messenger always. But here's the only way you're going to break down barriers is to do it anyway. Just
right.
do it anyway. Do it anyway, and they'll catch on later. Yeah, but
What,
yeah,
right.
we're doing that now. We're very
Right.
much still doing that.
Okay. So here's a story that a lot of people don't know. So
Mhm.
we're at a comedy show in Los Angeles at I think we were at the Universal Amphitheater, and you came up to me and you said what?
I said, let's do the Queens of Comedy. And he said to me, there are no queens. And
I did.
I said, what do you mean? There are queens. She was like, nah, there aren't any queens. But you were falling into the regular stereotype that all women shows don't sell.
Right.
That women are just a little bit funny and all we do is male bash. And I told you, I said, no. Oh, no. So first I said, well, do the Kings and let me host.
I remember that.
You know, I said, but then I said, I tell you what, I'll go out and I'll find the queens. I'll go and get the queens for you. And
I said, if you go get them,
mm-hmm.
we can try it out. And you got them.
And I went and got them.
Everybody tried to give me credit and say, well, you did Kings, so it was a natural extension to do Queens. And I'm like, it wasn't natural. It was something, it was brought to me. You brought it to me.
It was the thing that I didn't like about the fact that, because I think that women, we always get the shorter end of the stick. Mm-hmm. We didn't go to the theaters. Like, it would have been so bomb for us to go to the theaters just like the Kings.
Right.
And I know you as a promoter, you know, as a businessman, mm-hmm. you had to do the business of it. But right. I wish that we could have really, really went to the theaters, because it looked like it just looked like they was on a plane and we was on a bus. So
right. And
hey, we're here too.
Exactly. But let me tell you, this is the truth. The first tour we did, a lot of people don't know we did two. The first one we did was hard. But I remember watching it, you know, every night. I watched it in Dallas one night. I remember it was half capacity, is empty seats, and I watched it, and I'm like, to me, and this is the truth, it was better than the Kings of Comedy show.
We had passion. When I tell you there was no egos with the Queens, we had no egos. We was do each other's makeup. Girl, what are you wearing? No, don't wear those shoes. Wear this shoe. We wanted to prove so bad that we were just as funny as the men. And that was our sole goal, to prove to people that women are funny. Right. So we came together. We had the camaraderie that we just wanted to get it done. And
you changed history. It was historic.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have been a part of it, because literally I didn't think it would work.
Really? It will work.
I was scared. Like, I literally, and I'll tell the truth, I just did not know. I mean, and then I got I'm a young guy. Let's see, we did Queens in '99. So I was like 20 years old, and I'm listening to all these older promoters saying, man, nobody's going to go see women.
Yeah.
All women? Black women?
I know you told me that. You was like, people don't want to see all women. I'm like, Walter, yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Well, with all that said, we actually ended up filming Queens, mm-hmm. which I was very happy about. I remember Paramount called me. I was on vacation with my family. It was like in August.
Uh-huh.
I was at the beach, sitting at a Cracker Barrel in a rocking chair, and the head of distribution at Paramount said, "Can you do a Queens of Comedy project and have it ready for January?"
Oh my God!
And I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah.
You know, we thought that pyramid was the shit.
We had to get
major to us.
We filmed that in a month. We prepared. I was asked to do it in August, and we filmed in September. It's amazing.
But we were well groomed. We were on the road. I mean,
exactly.
Like we were hot. We were hot. So I mean, it all just worked out and played right in. It was perfect timing.
I'm gonna play a joke from Queens of yours, and I want you to tell me where the inspiration came.
Okay.
For this joke. This is one of the best jokes ever.
Women, we go through a lot of shit.
do. We go through a lot of shit. But the amazing thing about us, ladies, we have the ability to bounce back because we made like that. That's right. We have a certain, ladies, let me tell y'all something. We have a certain rhythm in us that we, no matter what we go through, we're going to be all right. And see, when we was little girls, your mother knew that you had that certain rhythm in you. So when you was about 8 years old, she gave you one essential toy. She knew that with this toy, you would get a swivel in your hips and an attitude to match. Ladies, when you was about 8 years old, your mother put you outside on the front porch and she gave you a hula hoop.
Oh my God.
I understand why she insisted that you learn how to do the hula hoop. You got outside with the hula hoop rocking around your waist. And at first it was a little bit difficult for you, but you kept on trying. After a while, when you got it rocking to your own certain pattern, it made a certain sound that says, and when you heard that sound, you knew you was the shit.
Oh my God.
Did your girlfriend holler, put it around your neck?
All right. So where did that come from?
First of all, you got to understand. In that clip, I am what, 26 years old, liberated, first time making some good money. Now that's not my first time making money, but I had, I was an entrepreneur. I had businesses before, but doing stand-up, I was feeling liberated. Like I'm on the road, I got fans. What? I was feeling empowered. So, I mean, that was like a young girl feeling her sexuality, and it worked. It worked. And when I tell you, I took so many chances on that night. That was the first time I tried that outfit on. Never tried it. The girls mailed it to me to Memphis. I think the day before. I didn't get my hair done. I wore a wig instead. So that was the first time I wore the wig. Oh God, it was like a whole lot of first chances. But the adrenaline was rushing. Like I was screaming in the joke. I didn't even mean to scream, but I was just so excited.
You're amped.
Yeah, just amped up. And I think in comedy you need that raw, natural energy. So I think it was amazing. And it's funny when you talk about the camaraderie, you guys. You don't even know this. I was in a hotel room. We all were on the same floor. And I heard Monique's always the loudest. So I heard in the hallway. So I looked through the peephole, and they had on their slippers, bathrobes, hair curlers, satin. That was her and Adele, and they were walking to your room. And I'm like, this is like hanging out with your aunts. Yes. We had so much fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of fun. What about that clip of you guys? I got a clip of you guys riding to the radio station interview. And Monique was riding you because you look so good at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, here's the thing.
Let me show that.
Just please speak to the folk in America. See, this is what's happening. We ain't made up. We just flew in. Right. That bitch there. She put her makeup on, but she went to bed and woke up ready. Ain't this some bullshit? She got on pumps and heels. Look at my motherfucking shoes. I got on Herman shoes. That bitch got on 3-inch heels. You don't do that bullshit. Matter of fact, she ain't the queen of comedy. She's been dismissed. I am Diana Ross of the Supreme bitch, and you will not be torn with us. I want Mary Wilson out the fucking group. She brings problems. I want to dismiss right now.
But we was on schedule too.
Ain't nobody gonna say this shit because they my motherfucking friends. Your trick ass is back there looking like a goddamn beauty queen at 6 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. And then that's why we not on fucking schedule. And let the truth be said, you two scared bitches.
Here's the thing. How do y'all know that we're filming and y'all don't get ready? Y'all know we're filming. Y'all know we're filming. You know we're filming. Why are you not ready?
I guess they learned.
Listen, Monique's energy. Oh my God. You just did not know where she was going.
Anytime.
And we all just sit back and just ride the wave because it would take over the room.
Yeah,
Walter, do you remember when we got put out of the car? We rented a car,
right.
Queens, that convertible. And then they got mad because Monique leaned on the hood. The man didn't want us to touch the car. So
yeah.
Get in the car. He put us out of the car because Monique leaned on the hood.
On the hood. You would always count on her to be that person. So.
Always count on her. Always.
Then we came up with, we did the Queen's tour, we did the Queen's movie, we did the King's movie,
right,
and the King's tour. Then we were like, what if we put them all together?
Oh my God, that was so awesome.
Was that crazy?
I'll tell you something. The Kings was so fucking bougie.
Explain.
They were so bougie because the Queens, we was like, yes, bitch, what's up? We go over there to the Kings, they're like, what's up?
Right, almost like you didn't belong there. Like, what are y'all doing here?
Sitting there like, I don't think they like us. Like, oh yeah, they were Kings.
They were like that.
And listen, and then we really knew how real it was because, you know, the Queens, we had our little rider, we had our little chicken, you know, we had our little rider. We go over there to the Kings, they got like buffet, liquor. We're like, okay, wait a minute, they're stepping it up over here. Okay, we knew. Listen, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, this is what you're supposed to be having over here.
Right.
Yeah, it was a whole nother world with the Kings, but we caught on.
No, and it did. And when we played the Georgia Dome, and I have a Georgia Dome clip with you.
Oh my God. I had a headache all that day.
You had a headache.
Rehearsal. We went to rehearsal,
right,
and I had a headache so bad. But when I hit that stage, though, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was unreal. It was a proud moment in life that I was just so glad to be a part of something so spectacular. It was amazing.
53,000 people.
53
for black comedians is something special.
And remember, the Kings didn't want to introduce us. What the fuck was that about? like they hated us.
They were bougie, like you said.
I would like to ask them, why did they hate us like that? Or was they tripping on it? What was that about?
What was going on? I would like to ask. Maybe one day we get a chance to do that, to figure that out. Well, you guys definitely deserved
to speak.
Right. Yeah, I know.
To the stage.
Steve used to introduce you as SOMMORE. You remember that?
Okay, so here's the funny part. So Steve kept introducing me as SOMMORE. So I'm all nervous. I'm like, first of all, I'm just like, damn. I mean, I don't want to go over here and like tell Steve Harvey how to do his job, but you are saying my name wrong. So I said, how you doing? I said, you keep calling me SOMMORE. I said, and my name is SOMMORE. He was like, oh, well, you know I'm country. He didn't want to try to fix it. He was like, well, you know I'm country.
Right. So deal with it.
Try to get SOMMORE right. Yeah.
Right. That's Steve.
It was amazing because we knew that we had to bring it because they was bringing it.
Right.
And we knew we had to bring it. Like they wasn't cutting no slack. They weren't like, oh, well, the women are, no, they was like, forget y'all, we doing us. So we was like, oh, forget y'all, we doing us.
That's good. Let me show a clip, short clip of you.
On a carriage with them, I was shocked.
This is the same night. This is a piece of your set from the Georgia Dome. Let me play that for people. So from the Georgia Dome tour.
Because see, you gotta remember one thing. All that shit has a side effect. And they don't want you to listen to the side effects. You ever be watching the television and they tell you about this sinus medicine and they have you believing that this medicine is a bad motherfucker. And right before the commercial go off, here come the motherfucking side effects. Warning, this medicine will give you insomnia, headaches, and diarrhea. Now you got to decide whether you want to deal with a runny nose or a runny ass. Which one you gonna deal with? But I like that shit. I wish every fucking thing came with a warning label with their side effects on it, especially men. I wish men, y'all had a little label right here on your motherfucking neck so we can know what your ass is all about when we first meet you. I'm serious. Let's say you in the club, you chilling. He checking you out, you checking him out. You looking good, he looking good. Right before he pass you, you see his motherfucking side effects. Warning, this nigga is subject to run up your credit, fuck about 2 or 3 of your girlfriends, and has a tendency to whoop a bitch ass. What you gonna do?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's classic.
And I hate watching myself, so yeah. That's,
yeah. You hate watching your own self, really?
I hate it.
How do you edit your specials?
I do. I get through it.
You just suck it up.
Get through it. Yeah.
Suck it up.
You know, as an artist, you critique every little thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked together on Queens,
Mm-hmm.
Kings and Queens together. Do you remember the tour we did where we did the search?
Yes.
We were in the Young Comics Open, and then you guys closed.
Flex Alexander hosted.
Flex hosted. Yeah. Do you remember anything about that? Do you recall it?
I do. Ronnie Jordan was just like the hunter. Like we would all run to the side of the stage just to see the audience reaction, like to his set. Yeah, the young comics were so good. Like they were good. Like they were really, really good.
Yeah, it was a good tour.
It was a very good tour. And they had us to look at. I mean, hey, we put them first.
And you guys supported them. I think they liked that.
We did.
It meant a lot. But you're right. Ronnie Jordan was
up. Their presentation was nice. Yeah, it was really good.
It was hot. So then we did another project. You know, it's funny when I told Paramount I wanted to do this project and I wanted to call it Latham Entertainment Presents, and they were like, "Presents what?" I said, "Presents comedy." They didn't like the name.
Oh my God.
And they didn't like it, and I had to force the name. But the bottom line was they loved the show.
About that, I remember.
Yeah, we actually had a meeting about. I don't know if you remember. We were all in Atlanta. Me, you, DL, J. Anthony Brown, Ricky, and we were sitting at a table discussing changing the name. And I'm like, the name is not going to change anything.
I'm telling you that you need to brand your name. You need to brand your name, just like Simmons was synonymous with comedy. Latham needs to be synonymous with comedy.
Me and you were having dinner at I think it was at Morton's in Charlotte, because we had a show in Charlotte. And you told me that
you, Walter, you always paid.
I always paid. But the one of the biggest lessons that I didn't learn from you, and I should have, is putting my name on stuff. I just felt funny. But then when you see people like Tyler Perry, and now Steve Harvey is doing it, and you're doing it, it just made sense. I just didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you're 20-something, you think you know everything.
Yeah, but you were learning, and I learned a lot from you. Like I can honestly tell you that you're the first millionaire that I knew personally. You told me you became a millionaire. You forgot that. You oh yeah, I became a millionaire last night. I'm like, what? You know, like you're the youngest millionaire I've ever met. You bought me my first Rolex. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
You bought me my first.
Remember that. You still have it? You upgraded? I
upgraded it. I put some ice on it. I did put a little Escapade on it. You know, on it.
You iced it out a little bit.
Right,
right.
But I learned a lot. The show that we did, the Latham Present show. Now, the problem I had with that show.
Yep.
On that tour, because we did a little tour first to get ready for the show. I headlined the show. And the night that we filmed the show, I also headlined. But when the show came out, I went first. So I stopped speaking to you because I was really, really upset. I'm like, okay, so how did I headline the show? And now all of a sudden I'm first. But then I learned something about the business and the power of owning your own material and owning your likeness and how you want to be presented. So from then on, I was like, oh no, everything I do, I will have to have creative control over how I'm presented. You know, I mean, I can't be mad at this man because this is his show.
Right.
I was still mad though.
I'm glad we're back. You're not mad anymore. I know you were mad. I heard it. You know, and sometimes, honestly, and sometimes in this business, some people are going to get mad. You know, you just can't make everybody happy. So in my position then is like the studio is saying, can you switch the order? Can you switch the order? And I was in the position of, I needed them to distribute it.
Right.
So it's like, you know, playing both sides. And that's a skill set. You know, how do I make sure the studio does what I want and also keep my artists happy? And it was a balancing act, you know, and everybody wasn't happy all the time, but you know, it's something you had to do.
And it taught me as a business person, you know, that there's tough decisions to be made. And sometimes it looks one way on the outside, and business, it works.
It worked. Yeah. I mean, Cedric was upset when we did Kings. In the Kings movie, when we filmed it, Cedric went last. But every time we tested the movie to live audiences, they were like, why doesn't Bernie go last? Why isn't he last? He should be last. He's the, you know. So MTV made me and Spike Lee switch the order, which was hard to do because basically, if you look at the movie, Steve is introducing Cedric. That's what you see, but you hear him introducing Bernie. Right. Yeah. Exactly. It was very difficult to do, but that's what people wanted. They wanted to see him last. And it was hard. I know it was hard for Cedric. And it was, you know, I tried to explain it to him, but like you said, you're serving so many masters when you're in this business.
Yes.
And you got it's a balancing act, you know.
Oh my God. You've had some rough nights though. Remember the night in Atlanta?
Should we even tell people about that?
On your team. I was the only one on your team.
You were the only one.
I was the only one on your team.
Here I am. Oh yeah. I don't see again.
Rough night. It was
rough. It was rough. It was a rough tour. From that night to the end of that tour was.
Here's the thing, mind you, it's like everybody's all the same age. So it's like nobody's like, you're the leader, and I think you was the youngest one.
I was the youngest one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had last October, I went to Steve's house. He invited me down to his house in Atlanta, and we finally got to talk about that. You know? Wow. Yeah. And he was like, well, man, I didn't realize you were 26 when we started this.
Right.
He said, I'm going to be 63 this year. He said, how old are you going to be? I was like 49. He's like, you were that much younger than us? He's like, we were teaching you.
I used to call you
Uncle Wally. And I was the youngest.
And I'm calling him.
It was Steve. It was really enlightening for him in his position to apologize and to say, you know what? Yeah, it was tough.
It was tough. Major. Yeah, it was a tough night. It was a tough night. But we pulled it off. It was really good.
We pulled it off, and it was big. So I got some questions on here.
Okay.
What clip do you have now? You have another clip? Ellie Presents. Okay, we were talking about Ellie Presents. Let's show Ellie Presents clip, and then I'm going to go through some questions real quick, okay?
Mm-hmm. I stay fucking a young boy. I buy dozens. I stand outside the club and wait for him to come out. Nigga got that Madden 2000. Nigga got that Madden 2000. Got that NBA Live. Nigga got that NBA Live. Got that jersey throwback. Nigga, what you lie? One person I know never have a problem finding a motherfucking man. J-Lo. Oh, that bitch stays busy, don't she? Woo, J-Lo throw that pussy from the free throw line, don't she? Hey, that bitch don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you're black, white, or Puerto Rican. That bitch like freaking.
That was a great joke. You have so many.
I love to write though. Listen, that's my thing. I love to write. And don't let me look around and can get a rhyme in there. Oh boy.
One of the questions says, why did you decide to become a comedian?
Wow, it was first of all, it was an art that I always admired. I loved Joan Rivers. I was a Joan Rivers fan. And at the time, I mean, it was other things that I had tried. I have a degree in business administration, a minor in mathematics. I taught school for a little while. I owned my own business. I own my own shoe store. I own my own food store. Comedy is something I tried and it worked, and I love along the way.
Wow.
So, and I tell people all the time that I actually read a book on how to be a stand-up comedian before I tried it.
Wow.
I read the entire book. The book is still out. I read the entire book and did exactly what the book said to do, and it worked.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I ever knew that story. How old were you then? You think?
Didn't I tell you don't never ask?
Don't ask. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Size 6.
All right.
In my 20s.
What part of success were you least prepared for?
What part?
And that came and that question came from Bill Young. You remember Bill?
Oh, I love Bill. Yes, what's up, Bill?
Yeah, he's on there. But yeah, he asked,
we used to work Bill to death.
He loved y'all.
Part of success I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
The tough decisions and the rejection. That was a hard thing. Because I'm from New Jersey, and everybody in New Jersey, we the shit. You the shit.
Right. Shit.
And when you get to LA, you run into like 18 motherfuckers that look like you, and they're all the shit. So now it's like, okay, now I gotta reinvent myself. So yeah, that was an adjustment, and I'm so glad that I had the business sense to be able to focus on stand up and be able to executive produce my own projects, and instead of having to compete in the the Hollywood world. Right,
just be in that wheel. Speaking of Hollywood, what is your feeling about the business as it is, as far as females and Black females in general getting some shine finally? Like it took a long time, but now you see,
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. I love that and it's women from all walks of life.
Right.
I love that it's all walks of, because Black women, one thing about us, we're not one particular type. And I'm glad that people are getting that we're not one type. So I'm glad that all women from all walks of life, Black women of color, are being displayed. I like that.
That's good. That's good. Okay. I probably have a question, but I was going to see if I have a really big question. How do you want to be remembered? What's your legacy?
I just want to be just said that I was funny. Long as you said I was funny, I'm good. As long as I made you laugh at least once, I'm good.
Then you're good.
I'm good.
You're good. Yeah. So as we wrap up, how do people stand
world for you to try to leave a legacy? You know that, right?
What?
I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. Think about the world as busy as it is. There's a lot going on to try to leave a legacy nowadays.
That's true. That's true.
Like you might save an old lady from a burning building to go down in today's time. There's a lot going on.
Right. You got to really step it all the way up.
In social media, you got to really do a lot.
How do you feel about social media and these comedians who become social media comedians? Like, do you have any?
What's the thing? They cut out the middleman. They cut out straight to consumer.
Right.
Now, how do they financially maximize off of that? We'll have to see, and what's going to be the longevity of it. But they don't. That hasn't stopped my money.
Yeah.
If it does, then I hate they motherfucker. Yeah.
Right. Do you, when you did Def Comedy Jam, did you feel like that made a big difference in your life after that, after you filmed it?
Of course. Def Jam solidified you. Back in the day, like Def Jam solidified that you were actually funny. And what people didn't know about the Def Jam audience, when people say, oh, Def Jam was so tough, what they didn't know was that the audience stood outside in the cold.
Wow.
Before they came in. So we ain't had no time there wasn't a whole lot of fluff.
Right.
With Def Jam. It was like, all right, they sitting there, they wet, they cold, like let's go. Like all right, y'all laugh and then y'all stop. It wasn't no warm up. It was like, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it kind of solidified you. It made you a household name.
A household name.
You did well. If you did well.
Yeah, you're right. How do you feel about comics like Tiffany Haddish right now? Like, what do you feel I guess that's the question. How do you feel about comics like Tiffany Haddish right now? I don't know how you want to answer that.
She's a female comedian.
Right.
She's doing her thing.
Okay. As far as her stand-up, do you ever wonder?
I've never seen her stand up.
Right. So you haven't. Okay. Any talk about a Queens of Comedy reunion?
Here's the thing: people always ask about that. I just think that if we do it again, it'll be compared to the first one. I think you'll spend the first 10 minutes looking at everybody, analyzing how they look different from the last time. And I think when it's greatness done, you leave it alone, unless you're gonna put a spin on it.
I like it.
So
there you go. That's a great answer. Great answer. So when you go back on the road, or when are you hoping to go back on the road?
When it opens up. I'm looking to possibly do some virtual shows, meaning like doing some shows with some socially distanced audiences or something. Because as a comedian, everybody in my house tired of me. They tired of me. As a comedian, we have that energy where we just want to, get out of me. They're like, you need to find something.
Go back on the road. Well, I'll say this. I've worked with a lot of comedians, as you already know, and very few of them I can count on less than a hand who I call friend and who I still admire and respect. And you're on that list.
Thank you.
Very, very short list. I wanted to say that. And I'll say that to you in person. I'll say that anytime.
We released that show and put my ass as your friend as the headliner. I'm funny. I'm holding on to that.
Good. Well, I really appreciate.
I consider you a friend, and like I said, I learned a lot. I was there. I watched you. We talked. I learned a lot, and it motivated me and it pushed me to not wait for anybody to give me anything. I went out and did my own, and that's because I've seen people like you do it. Like you're 26 doing it. Yeah, that's major.
Thank you. And you were doing your thing too, so we did it together.
Oh, I was doing that thing.
Yes, sir. Every night, every tour.
Putting it down. Well, thank you for getting dolled up for us and hanging out before. I haven't had lashes since March.
You put on lashes for it.
I was excited. I made everybody go to bed. I'm like, y'all shut the fuck up. In this living room tonight.
I love it. Well, you guys stay safe.
Thank you. And congratulations on the show.
Thank you. And I love you guys too. Really, I really, really mean that.
Take care.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, good night.
All right, bye.